whether it's in the Caribbean or the United States or England or throughout the world. What does trauma look like? Because if you know, when you are when for all of us, we get into that when we're scared, when we're frightened, any of those things happen, we get into our fight, flight, or freeze mode when the adrenaline kicks in. And so what some people don't realize is that a lot of the behavior that we might label as acting out, that just being misbehaved, is trauma manifesting. So, for example, one of the things we looked at was what flight looks like in the classroom. So, if somebody feels unsafe or they're coming from an environment, let's say, so oftentimes here within Chicagoland, like I remember working with a young lady, her brother had gotten killed on her doorstep, right? And could you imagine how she would function in the classroom? And some of these young people, their friends have been murdered or, it's been unsafe. So what does flight look like in the classroom? For example, flight could be they withdraw, they skip class, they sleep, they avoid others, right? And fight could be they act out, they behave aggressively, they might act silly, but we're interpreting these behaviors as negative, as just that they are intentionally doing it. One of the things I learned with trauma informed, instead of saying what's wrong with you, that we should say, what happened to you? Having continuing education around these factors can really shape and inform um, the practices in the classroom, right? So finally with freeze might be a student refusing to answer, right? You're like, the student doesn't participate, or they're unable to move or act, or they're exhibiting numbness. And so these are frameworks that we have to understand if we are going to successfully work with our youth.